I call this meeting of Glen Osborne Borough Council to order. It is August 18th and it is now 7 o'clock. Good evening. This meeting of Borough Council of the Borough of Glen Osborne is now called to order. For the benefit of the public and for transparency purposes, this meeting is being audio and video recorded and is being live streamed on the Borough of Glen Osborne's official YouTube channel. The official record of this meeting is the written minutes that will be later approved by council. The video recording and live stream are provided solely as a convenience to the public and are not the official record. We will now proceed according to the published agenda. Public comment will be received at the beginning of the meeting in accordance with our adopted procedures. Let's all stand for the pledge to the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, seeing no visitors, I'm going to move to approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of July 21st? It's both the committee and the council meeting minutes.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Any discussion? I did call Diane this morning and say in the very first part of the minutes, recording what our visitor Tim Kelly said, there was a motion to, and the motion was to, I forget exactly how Diane had put it, but I asked her to reword that. Could you just read back to us what we've decided?
Yes. Yes. On motion of John Orndorff, seconded by Bill Monsky, Council voted 6-0 to adopt Resolution 2606, House Bill 504, the Community Energy Act, in which Council expresses support for the development of community energy facilities in the Commonwealth.
Okay, that's what we're going to vote on approving. If there's any objection to what that says, okay. Any other concerns? All right, all in favor of approving the minutes, say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. All right, we've approved the minutes for the committee council meeting of July 21st. Mayor's report?
I have nothing, thank you.
Okay. Secretary's report.
Shall we do roll call?
I don't see that on our agenda, but I would appreciate that. Yes.
Oh, Jim Cohen.
Here.
Jennifer Coyne.
She
Greg
may
Kern.
call in.
Here.
Oh, great.
Here.
Matt Dobler.
Present.
Josh Lambert.
Here.
Bill Monsky.
Here.
John Orndorff.
Here.
And Gary Sherman.
Here.
All right. Now going on to the Secretary's report.
Yes. Well, I have some wonderful news. If you recall, late, I believe it was Memorial Day, beginning of June, we had a bad storm and a tree came down on the Davis Lane Bridge and it made a big dent in the guide rail. I contacted the Deputy Director of Allegheny County Engineering Department and I was really fortunate he answered his phone. And he was delightful to chat with. His name is Jason Molinero. And I described to him our situation, and I also reminded him that back in 2015, we had an incident where a drunk driver hit the guide rail of the same bridge. And at that point in time in 2015, I reported it to another person who was in charge of that department. And I had all the details. Our bridge has the designated number 207452000716. He was really impressed that I knew that number. And anyway, long story short, they have replaced the portion of guide rail that was damaged. And I'm amazed because Allegheny County has nearly, well, they have 1,823 bridges, and many of them are in poor shape. And in the midst of this time, that monumental bridge project was going on in the Parkway where I don't know all the engineering details, but I'm sure you're familiar with that. And in the midst of all that, they managed to come to Glen Osborne Borough and take care of our little bridge. So the guide rail has been completely repaired, John.
Can we ask about the trees now?
Sure.
Josh, as the Public Service Committee Chair, I'm sort of assigning this responsibility to you. We need to find out how to replace the 2 trees, the ornamental trees that are there, and what that will cost so that we can budget for it. And the sooner the better.
Okay.
All right?
We did, just following up, we had talked to Brian Brown about doing that, right? And then he...
Okay, I think what I would like you to do is to contact Brian directly yourself.
Okay.
And work that out.
Sure.
But I know that Bill Boswell is very interested in having those trees replaced. He put money in the original landscaping and is a little bit distraught to see it so damaged. So let's figure out what we can do to replace those.
Josh, I know for Tangela Nursery across the bridge pretty well, and so if you need somebody to call over there, I can call Bill and have him give an estimate for 2 new trees if you
Okay.
want it. So just let me know if there's something after you talk to Brian.
Okay, thank you.
Diane, go ahead.
Yes. In front of you, I gave each of you with your copy of the agenda, a message from Clint Riley that arrived Monday. And it's rather important because it pertains to 2 dangerous trees in our borough. One is located on private property, and the other is in the borough's right-of-way. And Clint recommends that we remove these trees as soon as possible.
Do you want us to
Yes,
do?
please come in. You can keep the door open.
Keep it up.
Yeah, we're supposed to.
Thank you. I'm sorry to interrupt.
It's okay.
Do we want to act on that right now? In other
Well,
words,
I wanted to give you that message in writing, so we can act on it later on.
Okay.
But I gave each of you Clint's detailed message. And then you have a collection of our bills that arrived today, late bills, plus a copy of Brian Brown's invoice from last month's meeting when we approved it, and how do we state?
Ratification.
Ratification,
Correct.
yes. So the NYRA bill for August is in there. Brian Brown's bill submitted for August, his bill from July, and then Weiss Burkhart, our zoning solicitors. So those are the bills that arrived today.
And if you wish, once you've all had a chance to review, if you have had a chance to review, you can include them, including the ratification, in your motion to approve the bills. If you require additional time, you could ratify them at a later date, but.
When we get to the bill section.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But I just wanted you to have all those copies. And the final 2 pages included with your packet are the suggested zoning updates that the Planning Commission will be reviewing. The Planning Commission makes these decisions and then presents their decisions to council. The Planning Commission members we're on vacation. We only had 2 that would have been available for a meeting in July, and we're hoping that we will have a quorum of members for an upcoming, it's the first Wednesday of the month, so it would be September meeting.
And so I can give you a couple of updates on how that works, because it's been a little while since you folks have worked on your zoning ordinance. So the planning commission has to have the opportunity to review any ordinances, or they may draft them themselves and then present them to you for consideration. So you can, if you want these topics, have, for example, my office draft them. You can prepare drafts and submit them for review, or you can task the planning commission to meet and work through adoption of the ordinances. You know, typically then we would want the solicitor to review before they get advertised or anything of that nature. And we can, and do for other municipalities, provide, you know, a solicitor to attend those if you would like. So you do have some options in terms of what the planning commission works through on these amendments.
Is the format that is presented here on this page acceptable as something to submit to council for approval?
No, it would require some additional language. There are portions that have not been filled out. They don't have necessarily the provisions that would be recommended, and there would be additional legal language to add about what is being amendment, how it's being amended, provisional language at the top and things of that nature.
I think that as a member of the planning commission, I think that that would be something that we should have you do.
Okay. It's not a problem.
Okay. And Magistrate Roselli submitted a check to us for July fines. It was $237. So that is the extent of my report.
Thank you very much.
And Mr. President, I think we have one member who maybe might want to, or the public who might want to give comment.
Oh,
No?
Just
okay.
to listen, but thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, I missed your name?
I didn't give it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Cynthia Mullins.
Welcome.
Good to see you, Jen.
Good to see you.
Nice to
All right.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm struggling with my vision now. I just had cataract
No.
surgery, so,
Yeah,
all right.
I'm struggling with mine too. So.
Okay. Now we're going on to the solicitor's report. Would you have anything to say before we go into executive session?
My main update, I would say, is in regards to the salt contract.
Good.
So I'm happy to save that until the public works portion.
Fine. Then I would like to retire into an executive session.
Okay, I'll leave and I'll just wait out here.
Yes,
Perfect.
And then will you
Yeah.
open the door again?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Oh, okay.
The no parking signs, I've been speaking with the police chief about those because we did redo the ordinance. We have hung new signs in the appropriate places where there were none. Went over those locations with both Clint, the police chief, and Brian Brown, and he has begun hanging those signs on the various streets that needed to have them hung. There's a new set of signs that need to be replaced, which are the permit parking only signs along Railroad. They shall now say resident parking only, just like they do across the street. That's also something that the police chief and I had talked about probably a year and a half ago. But now that we're in the process and council has decided that they'd like to continue the transition of signs to meet the new legislation.
Yep, and just to clarify, those changes were already made by ordinance, and the
Yes.
signs were just not updated.
Yes, so now we're updating all the signs, and those signs down on Railroad will be replaced once we get the new signs. Within it say resident parking only, not permit parking only, because we don't have permits, nor anybody to enforce that. So that's why that change was made, but should have the same net effect.
Thank
Well,
you.
may I?
Yes.
Jim? What's wrong?
There's something on the ground here. I think he dropped something.
I'm delighted that we're fixing these signs, that we're taking care of this. I appreciate your efforts on this very, very significantly.
I'm not sure if this is.
Now, one of the items on the Public Safety Committee that I put in there was Police Chief Mazza concerns. We are planning to invite the chief to our September council meeting. I don't know that we've made a final decision on that, but in that case, I would like to have, to be able to provide Chief Mazza with a list of concerns that our borough has for what the Sewickley Police Department is doing for Glen Osborne Borough. Do any of the council members have some specific concerns that they would like to bring up with Chief Mazza when he comes?
So we will put an agenda together. I think Dave Mazza has a few things that he'd like to talk about, some of the volunteer things that he does in the community, with the school, with the therapy dog, different things. And I think what we've normally done in the past is presented a few different questions that we may have as council to the police chief. So if you have anything, it doesn't have to be tonight, you can email myself and or John, and we'll put together a small agenda. We'll review it at our committee meeting and then present it to the police chief if he ends up coming in, which I think he does want to come in just to say hi. So I don't know if he's ever met a couple of the newer council members.
What's that?
I don't know if he's ever met you or any of the newer council members.
No,
I know he spoke with Jen before.
Very nice fellow.
Yeah.
Met him a couple times.
Oh, you did?
You should.
The mayor has just suggested that we not just rely on council to present concerns, but we open this to the residents of the borough. And hopefully some of you are listening online or will be listening to a recorded version of this session. I invite you to contact me or any of the members of our borough council or our secretary, Diane Veerling, if you have concerns regarding police services in our borough. Okay. Moving on to public services, we have a motion. I would like to have a motion to adopt the website policy, resolution number 2026-08. We discussed it at our committee meeting. I don't know that there's anything else to be said there, except that I am concerned that our website administrator, whoever that, well, I think that we've pretty well established that should be Diane, our secretary, have special permission to contact the website designer, Sarah Chambers, to ask her to make modifications to the website. And that we need to notify Sarah of who this person is that is authorized to make changes to our website. So I am already asking, I've emailed Sarah Chambers and said, please call me. I want to talk to you about how we're managing this website policy and who you should listen to when someone from our borough asks you to change our website. And it's going to be Diane Veerling, at least now, and it may be other members of council at another time. All right?
John,
So that's my concern. Yes, go.
why don't you carve yourself out in that as well? I mean, there should be somebody that can talk to Sarah and can put emergency notifications up there.
I thought that would be Diane.
Okay.
But do you think I should do it too?
Yes.
Why? I'm just curious.
I think it's a fair point, John. At least one member of council, in case Diane's on vacation, unavailable, asleep, and you need to get something up. I don't mean to
Okay.
throw
What if
it
you-
under his obligations, but the emergency side of things did make me think of Mr. Monsky,
That'd be a good call.
because you might be first aware if there is something that urgently needs to be updated.
And all you need to do is have a relationship with Sarah. I mean, or know of a quick app.
Yeah.
She'll
Just my
she'll show you.
practical apologies
Yeah.
recommendation, but that seems to be.
Okay.
are you suggesting that there would be 3 people that are authorized here?
Yes.
However many you like, but I think at least 2, so that if somebody is unavailable and something needs to be
Okay,
fixed or
Bill,
done.
do you feel comfortable? All right, I will do that.
Okay, I would recommend, once you adopt it, just that we add, because we did allow it in the policy to include other persons as authorized by majority vote of council. Falling under the website policy, I'm comfortable with including that. So if you vote to approve said resolution, I would like you to add a motion to designate Mr. Monsky as the backup website
Okay.
administrator.
Do I have anyone to make a motion to adopt this website policy resolution?
Sure.
All right,
Make the motion.
all right. Josh Lambert is making the motion. Do we have a second? Bill Monsky seconds. Is there any discussion about adopting this website policy resolution? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. All right, we have adopted that resolution, and now I would like to make a motion that we authorize Bill Monsky and John Orndorff, in addition to Diane Vierling, to be able to communicate with the website designer Sarah Chambers and ask her to make changes to the website. Is that well worded, or would you
Sure,
suggest?
and I would shorten it to just say it would be a motion to designate Mr. Monsky as a alternate website administrator under the website policy.
Okay, not
And you
me.
can just have a so moved. Oh, certainly, you want to have both of you?
Oh, I.
Certainly, okay, so
All
both
right.
of you as amended.
So,
I apologize.
the motion is to authorize me, John Orndorff, and Bill Monsky, in addition to Diane Vierling, to instruct Sarah Chambers to make modifications to the website.
Is the purpose of this just to designate the person? Or are you going to be making the policy of changing things on the website?
Just to designate the person, at least as the policy is written. So that would be the individuals who, if the website provider receives a call and says, I want this to be on the website, they can presume that person has the authority to do so because council has given them the authority to do
Are
so.
those changes to the website need to be authorized by council?
Unless, if it's going to deviate from the standard things we've provided for, like general updates on policies and things like that, that can just happen as a matter of course. If it would be some special announcement,
Yeah,
my
like if
assumption
the
would be
river's
different.
coming up, I would put an announcement on there too.
Okay.
Be
We do
wary.
limit what can be put on it in the policy. So it shouldn't be used for happy birthday to John, no offense, John. Or something, something similar. It would be for borough purposes.
And that being said, I want you all to know that this is Bill Monsky's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Bill.
Just what you wanted to hear.
Wow, I picked,
You picked the
I was-
right.
I was close. I was close.
It's a great day to
Happy
be
birthday.
here.
There you go.
Well, then you may this one time. Just-
Okay.
What better way to celebrate your birthday?
Okay.
All right, I
Did you have a
just,
motion second?
wait a minute. We've got the motion
We have a second.
seconded, but we are still in discussion, and I want to see where in that website policy it says what is modifiable and what is not.
So,
Here.
oh, excuse me.
Here it is. No, that's, here it is. Okay.
So it states the official borough website, it's on number 7 of the actual policy. The official borough website shall be utilized solely for lawful municipal purposes, including the dissemination of public information, meeting notices, and agendas, public records, and official borough communications. Shall not be used for any private, commercial, or political purpose. The website administrator and such other officers and staff as Borough Council may direct are authorized and directed to take all steps necessary to implement this resolution and policy.
Okay. Gosh, I can't remember if I took this to a vote or not.
I don't believe so.
You didn't.
All right, it's, what we're authorizing is Bill Monsky and me, with Diane, to be the administrators.
Correct.
All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Okay, Good. We're ready
Question,
to,
John?
oh,
Just, in the past couple months, we've had a 9 o'clock hard stop. Is that in effect tonight?
I'm sure it is.
Yes.
Okay, it's 8:41.
Yeah, thank you, Bill. Jennifer Coyne has created a storm sewer responsibility letter that's in our packet, I believe. I hope you've all had a chance to look at it, and I'd like to authorize Diane to send the letter to residents of Academy Place unless there's any objections.
Oh, excuse me. I don't want to turn that.
Okay, Diane, you're authorized to do that. Good. Now, Public Works, the road salt purchase, oh boy, this is a real headache.
Would you like to turn that to me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as most of you are aware, I believe we mentioned before, previously, we had been involved in the Shaycog salt purchase earlier this year. That contract, that bid came out with zero responsive bids. They rebid the contract and got one bidder. It's American Rock Salt, and the price per ton is $160 a ton, which is nearly twice what it has been in past years. We have been scrambling over the past several days, both individually amongst the municipalities I represent and with the two COGs, Shaycog as well as Quaker Valley COG, to try to identify if there are other options available to us. One option that had been targeted early by some municipalities and appears to no longer be available is there had been a CoStarz bid for CoStarz members that did have a late registration still available. That has since been filled or withdrawn. That was also with American Rock Salt, so I have an expectation that they just said, no, we're not going to let you get the cheaper price from us under this contract. I won't go into all of the details, but the current options that appear to remain available to you are, first of all, take the hit. It's a 1-year contract. $160 a ton is a big amount. You don't have immensely high tonnage usage compared to other municipalities, but it is a big difference. It's going to essentially double your salt budget. The second option that is clearly available to you is, I shouldn't say clearly, the second option that is available to you is to remain with the American Rock Salt contract and execute under a early order and early delivery option. That still comes in at $152 a ton. That would require you to order before October 15th, and it would require delivery of, I believe, 80%, they said, Diane? By October 31st.
And I don't know that that would be possible.
Yeah, at this point, the COG believed, based on our prior salt storage contracts, that we had 220 tons of storage available. The reality is we have about 120 tons of storage available, and we're still anticipated to use about 200 tons over the year. So we do not have the ability to take 80% capacity. That again would be still at a price of $152 a ton and require that early delivery. I should have clarified, in order to just take the normal AMROC bid, you do have to make a decision by October 10th is the last day to order. The other option that's currently being explored is whether the Quaker Valley COG communities can come together and solicit a new bid under more contractor favorable, supplier favorable terms to try to solicit some additional options. Part of that might involve an intergovernmental cooperation agreement between multiple municipalities, because some have a higher level of capacity to store and lower needs, some have higher needs, lower capacity to store, and trying to essentially work together and be good neighbors to be able to get an early delivery at a better price from another provider, or perhaps the same provider if they bid on it, and then enter into an agreement to share it. That currently seems to be the only realistically viable option within the timeframes you have unless you're gonna just take the financial hit on the original contract.
Have other municipalities asked you to work with trying to gather together a group of QV-COG municipalities?
So where most, and I will say, you know, we do have a number of municipalities we represent in the area. Most are looking to see at least what this Quaker Valley COG rebid might look like. The goal of that, and it is a very tight timeline, the goal of that is for them to be able to get bids in advance of the October 10 deadline to order from the AMROC bid. Some are taking an aggressive approach and saying, try us, we'll find something. Some are being very cautious. It all depends on the municipality, their needs, their level of risk. So I do think, you know, the Quaker Valley rebid is progressing. We attended a call yesterday with a number of the member municipalities and solicitors. And so that is progressing regardless really of whether you make any decision right now. You do not strictly have to make a decision at this point. You will have to make a decision before your October meeting. So if nothing is decided in the short term in September, we will need to target a date for a potential special meeting date. You all are lucky in that your regular committee meeting does fall right before that deadline. So we could put it on the agenda for your Tuesday, October 6th committee meeting, should we need to make a decision.
I don't see any reason to wait. I think we all
How many times?
agreed that we want to get the
Pardon me?
lowest
How
price
many
of
times do we need?
possible.
Well, you're not gonna know what's the
200?
lowest price, right? So you are
220?
going to have to either,
220.
you can do nothing right now
So we have
and wait
100
and
times
see what
200.
other options come in.
Yeah.
And you have until October 10th then to hopefully choose between your three options. Take more salt at an earlier price at the 152 and try to find some place to store it. Or take the 160, so long as you order before October 10th. Or if something else has come up in that period with this Quaker Valley rebid or some other options, because the state has been asked, the government, plenty of folks have been asked, this is a nationwide issue. If something else comes up in the interim. But this is something that is going to be imminent. You do not need to make a decision on it today, and nor do I think you should, because there's other options coming up. But you need to be aware of it, because worst case scenario, you do have entitlement under that original contract, you can get your salt, but it might be at a significant financial hit. So with that, I think there, like I said, no real action for you to take right now, but you do need to understand the parameters of what's going on.
We still have a place to store it if we take it away.
What's that?
El Nino.
Brian
Yeah.
cannot accept storage until beginning of November.
Yeah.
So, no. I do want to say,
Does Brian have a supplier?
We looked into that a little bit.
He's struggling to find.
Oh, he is? Okay.
everybody's struggling to find a supplier.
And the quote on the street, off the street, on the street cost right now is still $127 a ton. And with no guarantees of
Yeah.
delivery.
Is there an alternative anti-slip material?
There are different types of salt available, which I've learned more about in the past few days than I can imagine. Yes, there are. Whether they are suitable for this climate and this area, I doubt it. I know there are other places that use other things. So far as I'm aware, we have to get rock salt. So like I said, I don't need any action from you, but you do need an update. This is a serious thing that is going to be dealt with throughout the community and throughout the Commonwealth, apparently throughout the nation. So I will continue to keep you updated as it progresses, and then we'll hopefully give you guidance on your best next steps. Ideally, we have more information by your September meeting, but we should plan on potentially having to make a split-second decision right in early October.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, the next item that's on the agenda is about the upgrades to the lighting at the railroad crossing. And there was simply a note in the letter to the municipalities that it's the municipality's responsibility to make sure that they are installing appropriate signage and doing appropriate pavement markings at the intersection. I guess they were just, as they do improvements, they just want the municipalities to be sure they're keeping abreast of their maintenance responsibilities. So I just wanted to mention that. Bill, anything to do with emergency management?
No.
Okay. Finance reports and bills. Any report from the finance committee?
I had mentioned last time that we were waiting for the real estate monies to come in, tax monies. They are. We are overall, for all the income sources, this is in your packet, at 99% of where we were at the same time last year. So that's my eyeball estimate of where we are, so I'm pretty happy with that. The expenses are up, so that's an issue. But some of them might actually be being paid a little sooner than they did last year. So this, again, can even out, I'm not sure. Some expenses are up. Anna's involved in a lot of stuff. So that's there. The bills, I believe, are all appropriate, and I would make a motion to have them paid.
Okay. Let's have a motion to, you just making the motion
Yes.
to pay the bills.
I'll
Is there a
second
second? All right, any discussion? All right, a roll call vote on approving the motion to pay the bills. Bill Monsky,
Aye.
Gary Sherman, Jim Cohen,
Aye.
John Orndorff, aye. Okay, Josh Lambert,
Aye.
Greg Curran.
Aye.
All right, it's unanimous. We've passed the motion to pay the bills. I forgot, did we bring up we did about the trees that we want to
Yes.
authorize Clint Riley to notify the homeowner
Yes.
and then to get the one that's on our property taken down.
Yes, Tall Timber is the tree service that we utilized for the previous tree removal. And I can ask Clint to contact them, or I'd be happy to contact them.
Please do,
Okay,
yeah. All right, and also notify him that we do want him to notify the
Yes.
resident, yeah.
Yes.
All right. Nothing on the planning commission, QV cog report there, nothing? No,
Nothing in addition to what I'd written.
okay.
But there's a meeting tomorrow.
Okay.
Anybody have anything for the call?
Any cog issues that you want to bring up? Just, we hope that we can move forward on our garbage and the crossing, our effort to get engineering guidance on the crossing, trying to get an option there. I have put down for old business borough calendar reminder. Last committee meeting, Mayor Dobler suggested that we produce a calendar on which we list the important dates that we have for contract renewals, for budget deadlines, for policy reviews, for infrastructure projects. And Diane said she'll work on that and provide something later this year that we can look at and add to as we see fit. And then we'll have something in writing that we can put into our packets. All right. And now we're done to new business. Is there any new business? Right. Correspondence, we've already dealt with the letter from Michael, whatever that name is pronounced. But the message from Mark Brooks.
he emphasized when the project has been completed, they're going to repave curb to curb. That was the important part in that message. I've had residents call and ask me, No, they'd say Glenn Mitchell is a mess, what's going on? Is it going to be repaved? And that's why I saved that email for you all to read with Mark Brooks' promise that that's what they plan to do, repave.
It may be next year.
This is true, he didn't give a date, but
Okay.
yes.
All right. I don't know that we have time for,
I don't believe you do.
okay. So I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
A second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we are adjourned. I do need to say,
Stop the recordings, et cetera.
Here, I'll do it, so we don't